Michael 6 Muldoon here, and today I'm teaching you the easiest card control in the world. Today I'm going to be teaching you a move in which you can control a playing card without any sleight of hand whatsoever. It's a really clever idea. It was published by U.F. Grant under the title You Bite in the Encyclopedia of Card Tricks. It later became known as the Whoops Control in Card College when Roberto Giobbi published it in Volume 1, and it's popularly known amongst magicians as the Oops Control. The title of the move, however, was never actually published as the Oops Control, just that's how it's popularly known. I will link to both of those books in the description below if you want to pick those up. They're both fantastic books that I highly recommend you read. But let's get into the Oops Control. So let's take a look at the Oops Control. I'd start by shuffling up the cards like this, doesn't really matter. And then the spectator can choose a card, whatever card they like. In this case, they take out the 6 of clubs. I like to have the card return to a shuffle pack, so I tell them to tell me when to stop. They say stop, and their card goes back inside the pack, just like this. I can do a little bit more shuffling, doesn't really matter. Their card is lost. Now I want to perform an effect, but I have to control the card somehow. Oh, sorry, I forgot to take out the jokers. So now I want to perform an effect, but I have to be able to control their card somehow, which is lost in the middle. But I already have it at the top. So let's talk about how this is done. First, I start by placing the 2 jokers on the bottom of the deck face up, just like this. All of that goes into the card box. Now I normally leave my jokers face up in the box anyway, so I'm always ready to perform the Oops Control. Now this is a move that you only want to do once. You really don't want to do it back to back. It's one of those things you get away with once, but you start doing it over and over again, it starts to look bad. But now I can take out the cards and I have my 2 jokers at the bottom of the deck. I like to shuffle, and all I do when I shuffle is I'm doing overhand shuffles. I'm just keeping the bottom cards where they are. I don't go further, and then once I'm done shuffling, I take this right hand packet, put it back under the bottom, keeping my 2 jokers there the entire time. So a card gets selected, complete free choice. In this case, it's the 4 of clubs. Now you can just do a simple cut. Let's say you're not comfortable with a overhand shuffle. You can simply cut the cards onto the table and then have the 4 of clubs placed back. And what's gonna happen is these 2 jokers are gonna be placed directly on top of that 4 of clubs. I like to do it with the overhand shuffle, which does the same thing, but it just looks a little bit more messy. And what I do there is the 2 jokers are on the bottom of the deck face up. I start overhand shuffling, and I tell the spectator to tell me when to stop. They say stop, and I have them place their card back. Just like I did before with controlling the cards, right, when I did that shuffle, but my jokers are on the bottom. But instead of placing this packet to the bottom, I now place that right on top, because it's gonna place those 2 jokers directly on top of their selected card. Now that I've done that, I have essentially a key card. But how do I get to the key card? Well, I make it look like a mistake. So I say, you picked a card, and it could have been any one of these cards, and you had a free choice. And I go, oops. And this is where the title comes from, the Oops Control, the Whoops Control. I can spread through and show, oh, sorry, I forgot to take out the jokers. And this is why I like the jokers, because then I'll later use it for a sandwich effect. So I can take the jokers out like this, place them off to the side. Now all the cards in my right hand go to the bottom of the deck, and now their card is controlled on top. If you wanted to make it appear, you can do your favorite sandwich move. Say, watch the 2 jokers, snap my fingers, 1 card appears in between, the 4 of clubs. The way that works is you're simply taking those 2 jokers, getting a break under the top card, put those 2 jokers on top, pick up all 3 cards as one, holding back the 4 of clubs at the back in biddle grip. So you're picking it up like this. Biddle grip is fingers at the front, thumb at the back. You peel off the top joker, and now this one has the selection underneath, and you can place those 2 cards together on top, do a little magic move, and get the card to appear in between. But we're not focusing on the sandwich move, we're focusing on the Oops Control. Now let's say, for instance, you don't have 2 jokers. Well, you can simply just take any card and turn it face up on the bottom, whenever you want to do this control. So all the cards are face down, there's a 3 face up on the bottom. It doesn't really matter what card it is, because I can do the same idea where I can say, go ahead, take out a card. They look at it, 2 of diamonds. I can say, I'm gonna mix the cards up, drop it back inside. They drop it back inside, and I'm dropping the entire right-hand packet with that face-up card right on top. In this case, the only difference is that when I spread through the cards, I say, oops, I forgot to turn a card over, or 1 card flipped over. Now I just do the same procedure I just did. All I did, right, is I spread through. I took all the cards above that 3, put it underneath, and then I took that 3 of clubs, and I just put it somewhere inside the middle. And now their selection is controlled to the top. So you can either do it with the 2 jokers at the bottom or any face-up card. It doesn't really matter. I personally like to do it with the 2 jokers because then I can use it for an effect later on, but it's up to you, right? If you want to perform that effect, simply reverse 1 card and you're set to go. One more tip, if you don't want to spread the cards out to have a card selected this way, you can just use the 1 shuffle. So I could have the Ace of Hearts on the bottom, and then I can say, I'm going to shuffle the cards like this. I want you to tell me when to stop. They say here, you say, okay, take a look at that card. That's your card, in this case, the 4 of diamonds. And you say, look, we'll keep it somewhere inside the pack. Now, when I do a second shuffle, I just know that I'm only going to take a few cards off the top because their card is somewhere in the middle, that reverse card. And even if I go too far and I see that reverse card, like say I'm shuffling and I see a reverse card, and I can go, oh, sorry, did you see that? Oh, sorry, I had a card face up. All these cards go underneath, this card goes underneath, and now I have the controlled card to the top. And I can do any routine I want. It's just a really easy control. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's really clever, really cool idea, known as the Oops control by UF Grant, originally titled You Bite. You can check out all the credits in the description. As always, thank you guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.